So what if my virtual assistant works for another similar client or company? So VAs, unless you're hiring them full time, you should expect them to have other clients. There's very few people out there who are just going to work 5 hours a week for you and not have other clients. But there's a few keys here. I already talked about, yes, you should try to get them full time. If they're not full time for you and they're a rock star, figure out, at least ask them what it'll take for them to drop their other clients and just work for you. Maybe they say, hey, I need $30 an hour. And you're like, no, I'm not doing that. But at least get that information from them. But you should know what all your virtual assistants are doing with other clients. If I ask you how many other clients does your virtual assistant have right now, you should know that. You should also know if they're actively looking for other jobs. When we onboard someone, we find out, hey, I'm hiring you for 20 hours a week. You have one other client for 20 hours a week. Once you get that, are you going to be looking for other jobs? No, because I'm working 40 hours a week. Perfect. We have all the information we need. We at least understand that. So again, figuring out what matters and what doesn't matter is incredibly important. What might matter is if they're just working 100 hours a week and 10 hours for you, that's a pretty big red flag. I don't think anyone can work 80 hours a week long term, but you can't do any of that without that information. Now, this applies for more businesses that are kind of in the Amazon space, although it can be for Facebook ads and stuff like that. To be honest, and we build thousands of hours at FreeUp. When we sold it, we were billing 18,000 hours a week. I think they're well beyond that now. We never ran into serious issues. A lot of the stuff that you hear out there about accounts getting blocked and stuff like that, it usually doesn't happen. Could it happen? Of course. Now, there are things like VPNs that you can get, which hides the IP of the virtual assistant. But for the most part, that stuff is not necessary. What you do want to know is, again, what other clients do you have? What are the businesses for those clients? So you can see upfront if there's going to be any kind of red flag there. For Amazon sellers, there's this rumor going around that if VAs log into multiple accounts, you can get locked out. For the most part, that doesn't happen. Same thing with Facebook ads. People can have access to multiple Facebook ad accounts. Same thing doesn't happen. And if you really are worried about that risk, again, try to default to that full-time and exclusive. That is the real fail-safe there. And lastly, the real way to protect the risk is not getting people to sign an NDA, because are you really going to chase someone across the Philippines over a piece of paper? Probably not. The real way is to build a strong relationship with the people that you work with. That's the way that you reduce risk. I've had people I fired. I've had people that have quit on me, but I didn't want to hurt them. They didn't want to hurt me because I had built that relationship. So all the other stuff, the LastPass of the world, the limited access, like that stuff is great, but there's no substitute to actually building a relationship with the people you work with. That's how you're going to reduce risk. And if you're your VA's favorite client compared to the other clients they have, that is another great way to just keep everything safe that you're doing.